All right. Good morning and welcome everyone to today's webinar. This is our new features webinar. We'll be going over a lot of as it sounds, the new features in FastScout that are brand new this season, or maybe even got released a little late into the last season, for you to be able to see and kind of be able to get ideas to be able to incorporate into your workflows. So we'll be presenting a lot of them. This is not going to go into training or anything like that for how to use FastScout in general, but it will show a lot of the new features, stuff that's available, stuff that you have access to, or is part of our platform. There are features that are part of different packages. So if there are features that are here that maybe don't show up in your account, please feel free to talk to your account manager and they'll be able to tell you pricing or anything like that as well. A couple housekeeping items before we get started. This is being recorded, so this is available in the future. If you want to share this with any fellow staff members or anything like that, this will be available as a recording. Again, please feel free to reach out to us, support@fastmodelsports.com, or directly to your account manager, and we can get you that recording link. The second housekeeping item, this is a live webinar. There is a Q&A button. I think it's down below for you. If you click on that button, you can write a question that'll come directly to me. I'll be able to see that that will not be a public question. That will be just directly to me. I'll be able to answer it throughout the performance, and and throughout this, I'll stop and go back and answer any questions as they come up throughout this webinar. So yeah, with that, in this webinar, we're going to be talking a few different things throughout this. We're going to start with a lot of our new analytics. So we've put together a lot of new tiles and a lot of ways to be able to contextualize those tiles. So I'll have kind of a stat report, and we're going to go through that stat report. What we see a lot of teams doing now is kind of creating just a basic stat report for every team they play and for themselves as well, and showing some of the stuff that you have available for you. Um, Secondly, we're going to go through the FastDraw stuff that was released this past year. But we have our new FastDraw webs to be able to draw directly from FastScout, and our new iPad app that has stuff like animation and our whiteboard features easily available for you. Then we're going to talk through distribution. So being able to do video and then being able to distribute that video through shareable links and presenter mode slide download. And then lastly, we'll talk the exciting new feature of Fast Intelligence and a lot of our workflow solutions that are now available for you. So without further ado, let's jump into this. I am going to come over here to FastScout. This is my own personal FastScout account. Yeah, you'll be able to see, you're just going to see some stuff that I've created here for myself personally. But we'll dive in. I'm going to use this SIUE report just to be able to go through a lot of these new stats. As we go through this, I'll hide this for now. We'll talk about that a little bit later. As we go through this, I'll kind of show where these tiles are, what they do, and some of the ways that you can contextualize the data. So this first tile is our multi-team stat splits tile. So you'll notice not only does it have your opponent, so in this case SIUE, but you can also put your own team in there as well, in this case Southeast Missouri. I have it contextualized with all games, what both teams did in all games, and then what both teams did, the opponents of those teams did, so essentially what they did defensively. So they gave up 77 points per game, and my team, quote unquote, gave up 66.7 points per game. So you're able to kind of compare and contrast both teams right next to each other. With this, I always like to mention these little badges. So these are our new ranking badges. So it's 353rd in the country at that particular stat. You can see it's highlighted dark red, meaning it's in the bottom 15% in the country. Orange is the next 15%. Light green is the second to the top 13%. And dark green is the top 13%. And gray is everywhere in the middle. If you ever want to be able to toggle that, you can come here into the design. You have both the subscript and the badge rankings. So subscript looks like what it has in the past, and then there's the badge, which is big, bold, and colorful to be able to see it that way. This particular tile is located here in the team stats section and is this multi-team splits. So if I go to the multi-team splits, you'll see that you can add any additional split that you want, both for that particular team and their opposition. So that would be essentially offensive or defensive for those particular stats. And there's a lot of different stats you could do, including some context stats like half court and transition. So what they do in half court stats versus what they do in transition, et cetera, et cetera. So you could put all those together, not only for your opponent, but for yourself as well, and put those split orders right in there. With the stats as well, we do also have our specialty stats that are new: points off turnovers, points in the paint, second chance points, fast break points, and bench points, which you can see I have added in here as well. Yeah. So that is the multi-team stat splits tile. Again, I think it's a very valuable tool to be able to, again, not only see your opponent's statistical information, but to be able to compare and contrast that with your own team's information. Our next tile that we're going to talk about here is our shooting zone tile. So if we scroll down here, what it's going to do is it's going to take the players that are on that particular team, how many minutes they play per game, and then where they shoot, the frequency at which they shoot in those areas. And then you can see there's a key for that frequency right down here for the color coding, what that particularly means. But you can see this particular player shoots 23 to 63, 36.5% from that particular area at a 20.3% frequency. You can see this listed for every single player on that particular team. And if you go into this particular tile, you can also see that now you can contextualize these stats as well. So not only can you see them in terms of, just the raw stats for different splits. So like I can do all games, conference games, home games, et cetera, et cetera. You can also contextualize them to be half court or transition, time remaining on the shot clock. And you can do multiple of these at the same time, or assisted or unassisted shooting as well. So yeah, for example, on the shot clock, if you want it to be between 0 and 8 seconds, or if you want it the other way, that you want it kind of early in the shot clock, you can do so as well. So you can just pick and choose the exact time frame that you want to choose there, and it will pull those stats from that particular time in the shot clock. So you can see here, I have a few more examples of this. So all games between 0 and 8 left on the shot clock, you can see all of the different, where those players shoot, how much they shoot, et cetera, et cetera. So you can see oftentimes it's Hallie Smith from, at the rim. She's shooting 86.2% of the time there, also getting 25 attempts. You could also see total for the team in those particular areas. So if you want to see like, hey, they're shooting 43% of the time, they're shooting at the rim, 17.4 mid-range, et cetera, et cetera. You can kind of get that breakdown on a team level as well. And then this one, this is half court versus transition. So you can see half court, what they do in that particular segment. Our next stats tile here is our new on-off splits stat. So what does on-off stats mean? It will take when the player is on the floor, what the team stats are on that time, and then take the stats from when the player is not on the floor and tell the difference between those two. So in the 941 minutes that Sophie Lois was on the floor, the team had an 11.8 offensive rating improvement. So it was 11.8 points worse when she was off the floor than when she was on the floor. So that's obviously a very good indicator that the offense is a lot better when she is on the floor. The defensive rating also increased by 2.1. So technically that's worse by 2.1 points per 100 possessions. So she had a net rate. The team has a net rating improvement of plus 9.9 when she's on the floor. And there's even ways to see like they have a 3-point rate increases by 5.7%. So they shoot more threes while she's on there. Their field goal percentage increases. They offensive and defensive rebound less while she's on the floor. So you could kind of get contextualized stats for that particular player, what the impact is for the team in that way. So if I go into the settings here, you can see that I have all these different choices of the stats to include. I chose a lot of the kind of advanced stats. I could even include steal block percentage, true shooting, plus minus, things like that if I wanted to. And then you can choose between average and totals in the stats. But yeah, you see that all listed right there. And then you can also pick and choose players. Like if I don't want to show particular players, like I don't want to show Kyra Williams or something, she only played 6 minutes, you can take her out of that particular tile. All right, next we're gonna go into shot charts. The same thing with shot charts is we do have contextualizations on this as well. So you could do half quarter transition, shot clock, like time remaining on the shot clock, assisted or unassisted. You can also break down shot charts by the quarter, or in men's basketball by half. You can also do it by half in women's basketball as well by selecting multiple quarters. And you can also choose clutch events. So clutch events would be, in this case, the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter with a score within 5 points. I can change those parameters to if I would like to, and you can also include overtime if you'd like. So you have full control over that to be able to break that down any way that you would like. So in this case, I have all games and then also what they do in the first half. And then on these ones, I chose the shot clock between 0 and 8 seconds, and in this one, the third of the fourth quarter. So you can see this. Obviously, you can see there's a lot of bold and interesting colors here. You can also color code this to be the way that you want them to be. So if I go into the settings menu here, you see the zone colors. I can click on a particular color and change that to be whatever color I'd like it to be. So if I switch it like this, save this tile, you can see now it's a lot more bold, easier to kind of see a lot of those colors as they kind of pop off the page a little bit. So you have control in that way of the color coding within the shot charts as well. Yep. So the last G stats tile, so that is right here. And I should mention those shot charts are available as their own tiles like this, or you can also put them within personnel tiles as well. So they can be automatically populating within the personnel tile too. Thank you for that question to the person who asked. So synergy stats will be right here. You'll see this pop up. So this is where we get this information directly from Synergy. So they obviously go through, they kind of list all of their stats and things like that. And we're with our partnership from them, we get that into our system as well. So you can see your different play types, different possession stats, and as well as shooting stats, etc. So you can see here, this is broken down on a team level. So spot up, the team does 24.5% of the time, 598 possessions for a rate of 0.975 points per possession. I can see the field goal percentage, et cetera, et cetera. Not only can you do this for a team, but you can do this for each individual player as well. So again, I'm using Sophie Lois as the example from last year. 32.8% of the time it was spot up for 130 total possessions and at a 1.215 points per possession rate. So you can see that player has that particular impact on the team. Cool. Any more questions on any of the stats or analytics? We'll jump back to some of this stuff here in a little bit. But I wanted to start off by showing just, what you can do. We see a lot of teams utilize this for just stat reports, print off a 5 to 6 page report just for coaches. If you set this up in your template, it can just automatically populate this way, be right in there for you to be able to pull in directly into your system every single game with just a click of a button. All right. From here, we're going to move over to FastDraw and talk about some of the new features within FastDraw. So now, not only can you draw on our classic legacy products, so your desktop application that you've always had is still available, but now it connects with FastScout and being able to draw here in the Plays tab. So you can see this here loading. The Plays tab has always been here, but you've never been able to draw within the Plays tab. So you can see you can create new plays here and you can edit existing plays as well. With all of these plays, not only do you have season, team, and series and play name like you always have, but you also can add tags. So if it's like go-to plays or ATOs or stuff like that that you want to add in, that's maybe not a typical series for you. You can add those on and be able to categorize your plays with them as well. So I'm just going to edit this play just so we can kind of see kind of your typical stuff that you have. I kind of made a play that has a lot of moving parts just so we can see the animation a lot cleaner. Um, but you have your typical drawing. It's easy to draw right on the page. You can have all of your actions pop up, pass, cut, screen, dribble, etc. You can also drag and drop and move them over from your positions and actions menu, as well as your different miscellaneous um, icons and shadings. So if you want to like indicate where to look on the floor, you can be able to do that, and you can color code that as well. So there's the color coding down here. You can also mesh with the court dimensions, out of bounds, et cetera, et cetera. I still think the easiest way to draw is to take the little pencil icon. And now when you hover over, you can indicate that that's going to be that particular player. So you see the little circular representation. I'm attaching it to this player. I can make sure that that player moves accordingly with that action. You can also fast place. And of course, just like you could with the desktop version of FastDraw, you can fast build, and they'll know that will all move to the next frame, and all those players will move where they're supposed to based on their actions that they took. The big difference with the web platform as opposed to the desktop platform is the ability to animate. So there you see here, this will open your animation timeline, and every single action that is listed here has a corresponding action down below. So you'll be able to move everything along the timeline. Oops, let me open this up a little bit. So I have player 5 set a screen for player 2, so I want to make sure that that goes after that. And player 3 gets a screen from 4, so I want to make sure that that action goes after that accordingly. And then you can see as they play, they move along the timeline just like that. So you'll be able to do that with every single play and every single action along that play. You can combine frames together to be able to see all of that nice and easily. And then that will create a nice little animation GIF for you when it all is said and done. So you can see everybody's kind of moving along there, and it'll create that GIF. And now you can even add videos to this as well. So you can do this either from your computer, so that'd be an MP4 MOV file, or you can add it directly from the Synergy editor. If you have that play clipped out in the Synergy editor, boom, find that clip, and you can add it in. So you'd be able to create kind of that three-dimensional play for your players to be able to see accordingly. And then, of course, you can send these plays out directly to the mobile app by clicking here and sending it out to your players and coaches. With that as well, I'm also going to show the iPad app. So give me 1 second here to get that connected. All right, should be popping up here shortly. All right. So here's the same stuff on the on our new iPad app. This is the FastDraw for iPad app. So this is where you'll see all of your plays listed here. It automatically connects with the web platform. So as you draw there, those plays will download here. As you draw here, those plays will download on the web platform. So you can see a lot of those same plays that we had there, like the go-to play. You can easily go in, watch that animation, et cetera, et cetera. I'm going to go here to just a basic chord set that I have as a play. I'll click into the play. You can, of course, just as you normally would, be able to draw right on that particular play if you would like to. You have easy undo functionalities down here in the bottom left. But one of the cool things on top of this is the whiteboard feature. So that's going to be this button right here. If I click that, that's going to open the whiteboard feature, and I can easily be able to draw freehand right on top of this to be able to draw out a play however I would like to. So again, you can easily undo that. There is also the animation. So here in the bottom right, I can click animate. And if I had any actions on here, I could be able to animate those particular actions. So you'll see that would like go to play. Just go back to that. If I go to that animation menu, I see all those animation icons down below there, ready to go. So again, the iPad app I think is really cool to be able to do that. You can also add video directly from your iPad as well. So you'll see up here at the top, there's the little record, the video button. I can click there. I can either select a video that I have on my iPad, or I can record video directly from here and be able to. So I have this at practice. I quick drew something up at practice. I want to record it. I could do it directly from my iPad and then have that be uploaded to the system as well. Cool. I'm going to come back here to FastScout. I don't have any questions, it looks like, about FastDraw at all. Again, if you have any questions about that, either now or later, feel free. You can either drop them in the Q&A or you can reach out to us, support@fastmodelsports.com, and we'll be happy to address those with you. Yeah, cool. All right. So back here in FastScout, a couple things I wanted to talk about. Most of these have been around for a little bit, but just talk about distribution and video. Obviously, we have the mobile app that's been around for since the FastScout web platform came around. But you can always send scouting reports out to the mobile app that'll include the video and everything that you add in. But if I come in here to this particular report, one of the things you can now do is be able to add video not only through Synergy, but you can add through Sports Code as well. So that's going to be here in the paperclip. I gotta upload this. File. There we go. Open that particular file. And so what this does now, it pulls up that particular sports code file, that sorter file, and all of your different groups and labels that you've created in sports code, and you can now access that. So if I have like player, James, I can now attach that to any of the tiles throughout the report. So I had 4 clips in this particular label. Let's say I want to add that to this sample text box. I can go ahead and do that. And I can do that for all of my different videos that I have in that particular file for sports code. Once I hit save, that's going to upload. So we're about 27.5 megabytes of the full file, about 30% of the way through. And this will upload in the background. I can go back and assign the videos later as well. But now this will go through the entire report and be able to add in those videos where they're assigned. So let's see if it assigns already. It did not yet. But I added the videos earlier to different players. So you can see Sophie Lois has 4 videos. So the player James +2, I added those earlier just to see that directly from the sports code. Yeah, make it, again, an easy way to be able to do all of your work in sports code and then be able to have that come right into FastScout, go throughout your entire report, quickly and easily. You can even have those videos merged together. There was a button to be able to merge all the videos into one succinct video. With distribution as well, we have, of course, that ability to send out to the mobile app. You can, of course, print your scouting reports. But now we have 2 other options as well. I'm going to start with the presenter mode option. This is going to obviously turn your into scouting report. This particular part of it is not new. What is new is you can now come here to the settings. You can either hide slides if you don't want to show all of the slides in that particular report, but now you can also export them. So if I download this will now download onto my computer. It's going to process each slide in this report as a PNG file that you can now import into Synergy or into your sports code presentations that you're going to present to your team. So this takes a few minutes just to be able to process and download all of them. but it'll be a file on your computer, and then you can grab those files and be able to import them into your other presentation tools as well. And so they'll look exactly like what we see here, a nice, easy, concise presentation format, including players as well. Each player broken down with all their information. So like Sophie Lois, all of her content, all of the text content, player picture, et cetera, et cetera. That's what will be available for you to be able to put into your presentation. The other brand new method is our new shareable link. So it takes about 30 or 40 seconds to generate. So I'll talk over this while it is generating. But it will create a link that you can either text out or send out in any manner that you want to your players or coaches or anything. And they'll be able to access that on their phone, on their iPad, on their computer, or anywhere that they would like to access it. And they will not need to log in to be able to see that content. So what's nice about this is it basically only your scouting report, but all the videos within that scouting report. Of course, it failed. For your players through that way, it creates a link that you can send out again in a text message through a text method, and the link will stay available for 3 days. So that's the way the security protection on it. It only lasts 72 hours. Which is the reason why it's not working for me, because it's been over 72 hours since I generated that link. Okay. All right, let's go into our last area here, and these are some of our new workflow items. So I'm going to delete this just so we can see some stuff with that. Our new workflow items, some of the big stuff is just making it a lot simpler to work within FastScout. So I'm going to start here with these text boxes. And as you can see, I typed some stuff in here. I will delete it just so we can kind of see how I want this to work. So as everybody knows, if you type in here, you go through and I type in over the edge of a text box. So you can see it's going over. I hit and I now click out. It will resize that text box to fit that content. I can, of course, drag and drop this afterwards, but obviously there will be a default resizing to be able to fit all of the content that's in there into that particular tile. This button right here at the top, this little wrench button, it turns on what's called preview mode. So now I can type and do all of that stuff in here, but it will not resize. So if I go over the edge, it is not going to resize that particular tile. So this will allow you to be able to keep a very rigid structure if you want to keep a rigid structure in your reports to make sure that you don't go over the edge or anything like that, that makes sure you're fitting every single thing on a particular page and make it as concise as possible to print it out. I am going to now show this little sidebar here. So this is our new Scout Assistance. It will bring in stats and information as well as our Fast Intelligence features so that you can get some breakdown information of that particular team. And what's cool with this, as you click into each particular player, if I go back here, yeah, you'll be able to see this with players as well. I scroll down. Well, you have that for each particular player as well. I'll show it in the report, in our Fast Intelligence report, that each player gets broken down too. But with each player now too, not only do you have the Scout Assistant, but you also are able to click on the sticky note feature here. This will pull in anything you've written about this particular player in the past. So I have notes about Sophie Lois. I've used in a previous scouting report, so you can see a lot of different reports I've written about. You can just simply click on that particular note, and that will bring in something you've written in a previous scouting report about a particular player right in there for you. Oh yeah, so this is, yep. So you go here, you have your team information, and then you can go in for each particular player. So again, go to Sophie Lois. So that'll take just a second to load up. as well as if you go to the notes, you'll see all those notes that you've written about that particular player in the past as well. So both a breakdown of that particular player and the notes. And then you can toggle between seasons for that particular player's stats, as well as, again, go between every single player here in that dropdown. Cool. Yeah, so that leads us to the rest of our new Fast Intelligence features, which again is our brand new feature that we just released within the last few months here. It's been something we've been very excited about to, again, help simplify and make your workflows as easy as possible. I'm going to start in the My Team area just because I like to show a lot of this stuff. Not only are you getting a stat breakdown for the team, there's also going to be a Fast Intelligence, just quick report about that particular team. Again, it takes about 30 seconds or 45 seconds to load as it's going through because it's breaking it down every single time, looking for updates and things like that. So you can see not only does it break it down offensively, it also does defensively. So it says, oh, they give up 66.7 points per game with a somewhat average 94.1 defensive rating, right in the middle. And it shows why it's picking out those stats that it's kind of talking about. And not very reliant on assist to score. So it's looking at a lot of different factors to kind of break down that particular team. Not only does it do it on a particular team basis, but you'll also see this for each individual player. So I click here on Deja Richmond from last year. Again, you can see this for an entire player. They'll have a Fast Intelligence report. And with these player breakdowns, you do see stats. You see a game log. So every single game that they played throughout their entire career will be in the game log. Their career will be in there as well. Even if they've transferred from school to school, it'll appear there. And also you'll see any notes you've ever written about that player in a scouting report here as well. So yeah, and then if you want to pay attention to them, you can also see all their stuff in Synergy, as well as be able to add them to your Fast Recruit watch list throughout the year directly from FastScout. So this brings us to the big one, the big area where Fast Intelligence is used, and that is in our scouting report system. So I'm just going to create a report here on the fly. I'm going to choose a random team. Interesting. I'll just choose last season. And what you'll do is you will use the AI scouting report. So you can see you can choose the season and stuff like that as well while you're creating it. So I'll choose the 23-24 season and hit create. So this is going to create our Fast Intelligence report. So basically, again, we saw that players get broken down and the team gets broken down. Now this is doing this in a scouting report format that gives you the ability to go edit on top of that and create more information for yourself. So as this is breaking down, again, it takes about a minute. So I'll continue to talk over this while it's doing it. What are the pieces of information that it's analyzing? It's going through every single play-by-play. It's going through all of the shot location data. It's going through all of the box scores, and it's even going through those synergy stats that we saw before to be able to analyze the team and come up with the stats that are important for that particular team. So it's also obviously comparing that to all of the other teams in that division, and you can also do it by conference as well. So you can see here, yeah, Iowa's first in points per game and offensive rating. So it kind of breaks it down, again, highlighting that green because it's an exceptional stat. Also has give up a high 71.9 points per game with a 95 defensive rating. So it's even color coding where the stats kind of stand within that. And then it'll also break down each particular player as well. So again, not only are you getting that team breakdown, you're also getting each individual player broken down. And this is editable. So obviously, like you have, it generates in the report, but you can now go in and you can type on top of this report. So if I want to add a bullet point, I can come in here and be able to type whatever I'd like to type. If I go, you know what, I don't care about this particular thing when talking about this particular player, I can delete something that I want to delete. So ways to be able to to be able to kind of manipulate the information even on top of that. And you can see, again, we have that fast intelligence report here on that sidebar menu. And I can go between all the players that are in that report as well with that drop down and go through all the players on the roster too. And you can see not only did it generate for Caitlin Clark, it's generating for every single player right here on the roster. Cool. Again, we went through a lot of features in this particular report. If you have any questions about them moving forward, please feel free to reach out to us, support@fastmodelsports.com. And if you are interested in trying to create a report, you want some help doing so, creating a template for that particular report,